Hello. Okay, I'm doing it. I am doing it. I was just looking through my oracle cards, and the one that I just keep getting the same ones over and over and over again, and the message has been loud and clear. All the signs and synchronicities they cannot be ignored anymore. And I've been pulling cards for quite some time, and I'm finally like, oh wow, this is like my higher self coming through and channeling to me, for me, by me, through me, with me. So this is my first live. I mean, I did a test one yesterday. I think I did a test one this morning too, but this is the first one. And I've been making content and videos and posting in YouTube and my podcast, and I have gained momentum for a day or two here, and I feel really good about it, and then I completely lose it. And it's because I'm trying to do it in a way that doesn't feel super authentic to me. It feels like this is what I should be doing, this is what everyone else is doing, and every time I get in front of the camera, I stall and I freeze, and by the time I actually even get in front of the camera, I've already exhausted my energy and my feelings of exuberance. I've spent all this time and all my precious energy on creating the background and the space and trying to remember and think about what I'm going to say and scripting it, and then it just doesn't flow. So I'm going to start doing it in this way. I don't know. Hi, Chris. I see you. Tell me, is this way okay, or do I do it this way? Yes. Okay, great. Woo! Challenge number 1. What I am doing here today is sharing my story, or parts of my story. It's a big, long story, and it has been riddled with many different twists and turns, and in that has been so many cryptic messages from the universe that I refused to listen to. I was like, that's confusing. I don't really know what that means, and that possibly can't be the route that I'm supposed to take. So I'm totally going to dismiss that and ignore it. So I'm going to try to help alleviate others who are on a similar journey, because none of them are the same. And if you are having that incessant voice that is calling to you, that you know is prompting you to do something differently, and you're scared to do it, I'm going to tell you that voice does not stop. It doesn't get quieter, and it doesn't go away. It will get louder, and it wants to be heard. And so I'm here to share some of what I have experienced, what's worked for me, and hopefully give you some shortcuts to skip some of the painful and unnecessary suffering that I did. Although I truly believe that my going through all the way down to a rock bottom was because of my resistance, because of my fear and anxiety, but also so that I would have the experience and the tools and the know-how of how to get out of that place. So if you're already there, this could be helpful for you. And my journey, I know now is meant to be a beacon, to be a light, to be a source of inspiration to those that are on a similar path. I'm finally doing it, and it feels really good. In the last week or so, I've had some, again, major realizations that this isn't about me even. This isn't even about me. My journey has been beautiful and wonderful, and I'm going to share anecdotal things and what I know to be true about me. But for me to share my story is not about me growing a business or me, getting a following or anything associated with money or success. It's truly about being available, just putting myself out there for those that it does resonate with. And I have had so many teachers that have been available to me, that have been so helpful, and had they just dipped their toe in it a little bit and then reeled themselves back, I would have been lost without them. So I'm grateful that I now see that I don't have to do that. I don't have to hide. I don't have to make this be about my ego and my being buttoned up and polished, and because that's not who I am anymore. I never was that. I was trying to be that. I was trying to be this perfect employee, or remember my script, or remember what I was supposed to be saying, and I was going to say it the best than anyone else, and that was my worth. That was how I was going to be paid in exchange for my, pristine presentation. Then that was how I was gauged in my worth. And so, no loss. So this morning I posted it to let people know about this, and I really honestly didn't care how many people showed up. And if it's not for anyone, and it's just for me, I will keep it for myself. And this is how I journal now. I journal by creating my own recordings to myself, and I go back and I listen to them, and they have integrated into my way of being so much quicker than my original form of journaling, which was just, I still do this. I still write in my notebook. This was from my bestie, Tanya, like 3 years ago, maybe, in the height of my, and honestly, I wasn't even planning on reading this, but it was August 16th from Tanya for my birthday. This was 2021. And I wrote this. I miss me. My body will change. My being will evolve. Please don't let my essence devolve. I will nourish and cherish and care for and grow and play with and be attentive to me. Love, Melissa. This was my love letter to myself. I was losing it. I was deep, deep in the pit of really going into a deep, dark despair. I mean, I think I was already in it, but I was miserable. I was hiding. I was scared. I felt my essence leaving me, and I had gotten my life coaching certification, and I did not even know what I was going to do with it. I just kind of was like, oh, that was great. I did that. I spent a lot of money on that certification, and I knew somewhere deep down that I wasn't ready, or that I wasn't capable of coaching other people, because I couldn't even get myself out of this pit. I tried to blame it on everything, this relationship, this job, my everything, hormones. I thought it was my hormones. I just felt this constant state of overwhelm and chaos, and I could not get a handle on it. I just felt like I was treading water all the time, and like trying to keep my shit together. After the relationship and after the job and all the things, I had this sabbatical lined up, and I was like, I'm gonna have my eat, pray, love year, and the aha moments are gonna come, and they certainly did, but I never felt it. I never felt that click and like, oh, that's my path. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. But once I gave up drinking in October of 2023, everything changed. Everything changed. And then I was able to access all of the things that I was hoping to accomplish during that Eat, Pray, Love year. And that veil is thin. That veil is thin between alcohol and getting to the other side, because I could see it. I could feel it. I was doing all the things. I was investing heavily in myself. So here I am. I'm fully and truly embracing my manifesting generator, human design. When I first found out about this, I was like, oh yeah, that totally is me. That resonates. Wow, it's great to know that I'm understood. But I never really embraced it. I never practiced it. And then I started practicing it back in May of this year, when the universe had backed me into a corner. Turns out I didn't really have any choice. So this is another reason why I'm doing this program now, that I am going to just share with everyone, you don't have to get backed into a corner. You truly can let that voice be heard and take lots of different steps. There's lots of angles. There's lots of tools that you can use to get yourself to living a blissful life. You do not have to you don't have to, spend every last dime of your savings. You don't have to travel the world. You don't have to do a lot of the things. If you want to do that, I'm your girl too, to help you navigate that. There's so many things that I would have done differently to save myself money, to explore deeper, faster, harder, stronger this globe. I've got tips and tricks on that. So if you're thinking about vagabonding and want to go explore, I say go for it. It is, if you've ever questioned yourself and your resiliency and your bravery, and I think I feel like I even went some of the easy route. Anyway, I'm winging it. And this is part of my human design as a manifesting generator, is to finally embrace that I am all over the place. I have a multitude of ideas and epiphanies on a regular basis, and they're good. I have great ideas. So why not allow them to flourish, allow them to come out? I don't have to act on all of them, but I can act on some of them, and some of them are amazing. Being able to pull together all these different experiences and skills that I have and allow them to come to fruition in a very different way than what I was using them for previously. So that feels really good. Just truly embracing. And mine is following my gut, following my sacral, and allowing my gut and heart to lead the way, because when I was letting my mind do it, I was in this purgatory for a long time. Even though I was in this space of, my eat, pray, love, and letting go and surrendering, I was doing it the best way that I knew how at that time. I'm like, I'm traveling, I'm doing this, I'm letting go, I'm surrendering like nobody's business. And I was. But there is a different lens to that I didn't know how to do. And I feel like I can give people tips and tricks on that too, of truly trusting in the universe and following, whatever your compass is. Mine happens to be, I've been begging for intuition, been begging for my, this is my journey started with me begging. I was like, I don't even know what intuition is anymore, and I don't think I ever had it, and I don't know what it is. And so that was my first step into this awakening, like truly actively being in an awakening state of, I have to find my intuition. And I've journaled hundreds of times, like, I just want to have my own back. I just want to know that the choices and the decisions that I make, that I have my own back. And that's part of this, is truly letting my mind take a back seat and stop trying to rule the show, because the purgatory that I was feeling between, I know that I want to follow my intuition and my gut, but I have to think about it and I have to analyze this. And this is so different than my old white picket fence life, is what I call it, that this can't possibly be safe. This goes against everything that I have ever been told is how I'm going to receive my worth, how I'm going to cultivate my value is to be buttoned up and professional and to be pristine and perfect. And no, it's not happening that way. It didn't work. And the true surrender and letting go that I have finally allowed is the peace. If you're looking for peace and quiet in here, and allowing your body to lead the way, it's worth it. It is worth every penny you might spend to get there. What I wrote this morning was, follow your bliss. Follow your bliss as soon as it calls. So I've been using this phrase of, that I've been following a prescribed life. And I think that that's why I drank. I know that's why I drank. I was living the dream. I had this white picket fence life. I had a beautiful home, 2 healthy, beautiful children, an amazing community of friends. I was having fun. I was successful. And I knew that there was something different. I knew that there was something more, but what could that possibly be? Like, this is it. This is what we strive for, right? And it was a prescribed life. It was a prescribed life that wasn't really handed down to me from my family, that's for sure, because I went against that grain. I certainly stepped outside of the comfort zone as far as my family of, origin and, the rest of my my upbringing was. I stepped outside of that, but I was following this prescribed life that I thought was what I was supposed to be doing. And my bliss started calling me, but I didn't know how to answer the call. So my one piece of advice that I want to share with you today, and I think that if I had this one piece of advice, well, I've got lots of advices, so this is one that I'm going to share today. So when someone offers you a gift, your only job is to make a choice. Do you have a yes or do you have a no? It is not your responsibility to second guess what they're offering. It is not your job to check in. Are you sure? Am I worthy of that? When someone offers you something, it's okay to confirm, this is what I'm hearing you offer. Then your only job is to choose. Am I a yes to this? Am I a no to this? Because I've been offered so many gifts, and once I finally started accepting them, and I even catch myself every now and again, are you sure? Are you sure? And I will what I will often say is, yes, I choose to do that, and I am trusting that because you offered it, you mean it. So yes, I'm in. Or it's sometimes easy to say no, thank you. But also, it's okay to say no. Even though, okay, here's another life lesson. Even though something is presented to you in such a beautiful package, it has a very sparkly look on the outside, and you're like, ooh, this is what I've been waiting for. This looks good. This looks good. And even when you're opening it, and you might even look inside, and you're like, whoa, this experience is really awesome. Like, I've been waiting for this. And then you dig a little deeper and you get below, and then you notice it's a big pile of shit. And you're like, but I was all excited about this, and this looked really good. This possibly can't be this. So I'm gonna keep this. And even though it smells and I don't want it, and it's not what I thought it was gonna be, I used to try to feel like I needed to keep this. Well, it was a gift that was given to me. Now I need to work with it. And wow, you can say no. You could say no. And the quicker that you say no, that you realize, this isn't really for me. This isn't, no thank you. No thank you. The incense is wafting over to me. So I encourage you to say no when it's not a yes. It's not a yes. It's a no. It's a fuck no if it's not a fuck yes. We've all heard that before, but truly. Oh my gosh. So the tests and the lessons and the mentors and the teachers and, all of the people that have been so instrumental on my journey. And I have plotted them out. I have done it by timeline, and I go in and I'm like, oh, when I met that person, this pivot and this thing changed. And then when I met this person, this thing happened and this thing happened and this thing. And it's a really cool roadmap for seeing some of the instrumental pieces and puzzle parts that have come together. So you can look back and see, that lesson, I'm not going to forget that one. I see that, let's see, who's all joined here? I'm just going to look because I don't know how to work this thing. Okay. Yay. Thank you for joining. So yeah, I have really just allowed myself permission, and I'm going to be doing these more frequently. I'm running an 11 steps to reaching your highest potential. It starts on November 11th. I'm sure there's a gazillion other things that are starting that day. These are going to be 22 to 33 minutes long. I want them to be quick and easy. I'm going to record them. They will be available. They just I used to do aisle trainings. So I would go into natural product stores and teach people about herbs. And there's a lot of herbs out there. If you're not familiar, there's, well, I mean, as many plants as there are on this earth, most of them have medicinal properties. So I would go in and I would try to teach people in like 5-10 minutes. That was their attention span, if I could even get that. And so I was like, I have to make this interesting, relatable, provide it in bite-sized chunks that they can digest and remember. It's all about intake, consumption, and how do you remember. So I was trying to, so I learned that. I learned that as a skill to try to get people as much information, but easy for them to remember, for them to use, that it's not just hours of like me regurgitating facts and things like that. Who wants to sit through that? I don't. So 11 steps, 11 days, it's $111. It's easy for me to do. I've been trying to, launch these massive programs that have felt so daunting and overwhelming to me that, of course, then I don't do it because I'm like, I don't even know how to manage that. And then I was like, do I really, really even want to be doing that? Is that what I want to be doing? And I know that the answer is no. So I've just been pausing and contemplating and meditating on this for the last, it's been a while, but I finally was like, just give yourself a break, which is what prompted this. Give yourself a break, drop in, be quiet, and just maybe the answers will come. And I tried to let that happen before I went to Costa Rica in October, but I wasn't there yet. So here I am. The other thing is this all happens in its own due process of timing, and I like to think of it now as I call it, it's the unfurling of my journey right in front of me. And things, nature unfurls as it's ready, as it's ready. So you can't push anything. However, you can be present and remove a lot of the resistance that comes along with that, because if you can remove the resistance, the flourishing and the unfurling will happen. It will happen, and it might happen easier and more beautifully and less painful. I think that's where I'm going to stop today because I feel complete. That was 22 minutes, 23 minutes. So that's what I want to kind of keep my stuff to, is short, sweet. And yay, I did it.